So this is just going to be a reflection for this year so far. I don't know if I'll end up uploading this because it's a bit dark. You probably can't even see me, but you can use your imagination, I guess. Um, so this is not like meant to be a YouTube video. This is simply just a way for me to track down my reflection. I might share it with you if it's useful. But essentially, I just want to reflect on everything I've done this year so far and just kind of make sure that I'm on the right track because I know the new year has only just started. I'm recording this on the 7th of Jan 2025. And I I feel like this sucks to say, but I feel like I already lost a bit of like motivation already. Like the first 2 days when I was back, I was like hype, going to the gym, going, leaving early, doing everything on time. And yeah, a few days in, I just kind of like the routine kind of settled in, and now it's kind of like back to like square one. So I'm struggling a bit with like waking up early. Like I woke up this morning feeling like all groggy and stuff, and yeah, it was just a bit frustrating because obviously that delayed my like entire schedule, my entire routine, and so I couldn't finish like the work that I wanted to do. So yeah, there's that. But in terms of like the main things, like I feel like right now I'm just almost scattered in like a few different directions at once and just kind of like doing a lot at one time. So my goal right now is to just get as good as at like my job at this startup as possible, and that just involves like a lot of upskilling, a lot of training to do, and just a lot of like just a lot of like just thinking on how to get better. And part of my training comes down to just becoming a better team member and a just better communicator. So that's obviously like quite draining as well, like practicing like speaking, talking, building relationships every day. That's another very like draining aspect. But overall, like I definitely should be more grateful. Like I say I am grateful, but sometimes I don't truly like feel it, which is obviously a very bad thing. So I am like truly grateful that I have this opportunity, like that where I can like grow and just work on something that I'm passionate on, and just almost get like paid to like learn. So that's honestly quite sick by itself. So that's definitely something that I'm very grateful for. I'm just trying to think like, why do I feel still like just a bit like empty inside? I feel like it's just because I'm not making progress as fast as I imagined. Like, I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes I just fantasize about making like progress really fast and just reaching my end goal and thinking about how sick that will be. But when it comes to reality, like, it's just much slower than that. And I guess that's probably like the propaganda that's been fed to us. Like you see on Hollywood that there's the main character goes through this like 60-second montage and they become a completely new person. Like I wish that happened in real life, but oftentimes a 60-second montage represents like a few years, if not a decade, of like work. So I guess like sometimes I just fantasize about like, me reaching my end outcome, whether that's like reaching like a money goal or like a relationship goal or like a physical, like fitness goal. And I feel like just fantasizing, like although it feels great in the moment, it's just like a coping mechanism to escape from doing the hard work in reality. And like it's very hard to like avoid it because it's just easier to fantasize than to do the hard work. And so like I'm just trying to think like how do I like avoid this? Because it's not going to be like, I'm going to decide and I'm just going to avoid it straight away. It's always going to creep back somehow. And so let me just try and like, I've got this reflection framework. It's called Kolb's reflection cycle, I believe. It's basically a way just to guide my reflection. So the first stage of this reflection process, and you can do this with me, is to think of an experience. And an experience for me is just, yeah, I mean, I've been fantasizing a lot. Like recently, just like like an hour before this, I was fantasizing about, getting a lot of cool job opportunities and just taking those, traveling overseas, and how sick that would be. But then, yeah, the reality hitting that, I need to just do the basic tasks at job, at work, and everything. So that's kind of the experience that I just had. And to kind of reflect on this and just kind of go through everything that's happened, basically just what I said, I just had that thought. It was kind of just when I was like quite tired. I just thought, like, what if everything was easier? What if I achieved everything? How cool would that be? So that was kind of like my reflection of it. And I'm just trying to think, like, has this happened before? Many times. And I wouldn't say it's gotten to the stage where it impacts my life, but it's just kind of one of those things I've noticed about myself recently. And I don't think this is anything new. Like, this has always happened throughout my entire life. Like, I always fantasized about like reaching the end outcome, like, like tomorrow, and how cool that will be. And it happened when I was getting high grades, when I was in university, when I was looking for relationships, things like that. And the good thing is, it does like motivate me to like, work hard and go forward. And so when it comes to like the third stage of this reflection cycle, so we have experience, we reflect on it, and then we try and abstract why we may have this feeling. So experience, number one. Number two, reflection. Number three, abstraction. So based on everything I've said, what are potential reasons for this? So I typically have these like, fantasies when I'm like quite like tired, when I'm not making that much progress in work. So I can see it's definitely just a coping mechanism. Like when things are going slow in work and I can't see how this contributes to the larger picture, yeah, I just feel like that's when like I'm most susceptible to like these thoughts. So there's that. And then when it comes to like, yeah, when I feel like when everything's like going well, when I'm making a lot of progress, I have like less of these thoughts because the reality is the fantasy. So that's quite interesting. Okay, and then the final part of this Kolb's experimental cycle is experimentation. So what's a little action thing I can take like tomorrow or like as soon as possible that can allow me to test this like hypothesis? So probably like, what if I just reframed what I was doing tomorrow as a very clear stepping stone to me reaching the end goal? And that would give me like, the motivation or like the sense of like achievement where I feel like I'm making very meaningful progress towards my end goal. That could potentially be it. Yeah, I'll try that out tomorrow. So tomorrow I have like this chat with a friend, and so I'll see it as like a way to practice my relationship building, like my sales, and yeah, just treat it as an opportunity to like make my reality a reality and not just a fantasy. So yeah, that's kind of like my reflection for the day. One of the one of the things I've realized this year is I've done a lot of like fantasizing, like before the 2025. Like 2025 is going to be this amazing year, and yeah, few like days in, just feeling a bit like demotivated. But that's why I'm kind of like doing this reflective exercise. So I'm going to try and just pick up the pace and continue to reflect and improve. So hope that reflection was helpful. And if you're going through the same thing, let me know. I have my email or the comments below. Yeah, very keen to hear your situation. So take care.